Hi, my name is Fulton Abraham Sanchez. I am the CPA of the firm FBAR Consultants, and today we're going to speak about how the IRS audit FBAR report not filed. There is a case for a taxpayer, Kimball. Even though she has a bank account in Switzerland, she instructed her banker not to report that account to the IRS. In addition to that, she never notified the IRS of that holding, and as well, she never told the CPA who filed her tax return about this foreign bank account. When the IRS discovered, after the US government forced all the Switzerland banks to reveal the information for US citizens holding accounts in the country, the IRS found out that the taxpayer hold this bank account and didn't report that to the IRS. Even though she signed the return, when the IRS took her to court, she said, I didn't read my returns. In terms of tax principles, the IRS classifies the violations into two types: willful and non-willful. Willful violations have a severe penalties, $100,000, higher of $100,000 or 50% of the balance of the account. For non-willful, the penalty is only $10,000. Now, this is where you have to be very careful, because there is another case for a taxpayer. She also was taken to court, and in that case, even though she filed as non-willful and she was accepted as non-willful, the penalty that she paid was not $10,000 per year, but $10,000 per account, for a total of $130,000 for 13 accounts not reported. We have a video and a blog post about that topic. So be very careful here. Whenever you are holdings in foreign banks and you are considered not including that in your tax return, better think twice, because the IRS now has an agreement with every single foreign bank who holds corresponding banks with corresponding accounts with American banks, US banks, to report all those belongings, all those holdings of US citizens in those foreign banks. So be very careful when you are considered not reporting this. Better be safe in this. In terms of this specific case, even though when she was to court, she said, I am a non-willful filer, the government and the court had a different opinion about this. And the argument of the government prevailed, and she was classified as a non-willful. Therefore, her penalty was $100,000. Remember that the penalty for a willful non-filer is the higher of $100,000 or 50% of the balance of the account. Now, whenever you are confronting non-reporting accounts, the best strategy is to be ahead of the IRS. Do not wait for the IRS to find out that you have accounts not reported. Better to anticipate the IRS and report the accounts. If there is income not reported, income that you receive in those foreign accounts, and that income is not reported in your tax returns, better to amend the tax return, pay taxes, pay penalties, pay interest, and file the FBAR report for bank accounts in foreign countries that are not reported. And according to what you say on the report, that this is willful or non-willful, the IRS will audit you, will examine your returns. If the IRS decides to examine your returns, you have to be prepared. And the first thing that you need to do is to hire a CPA that is versed in these topics, as well as an attorney. They will request all the documentation to the examining officer, and this team, the CPA and the attorney, they will need to prepare an argument. And the argument needs to be in line with the cases that other taxpayers have prevailed. This is how you make sure, your team makes sure that whenever the argument that you are presented to the IRS is in line with previous cases that taxpayer already won, that the argument of the taxpayer prevailed in court. This is where, for example, if you say that it's non-willful filing, you have to prove that. You have to prove that to the FBAR, to the IRS officer doing the auditing or the examination of your accounts. So whenever you are facing with this, it's critical that you hire a CPA and an attorney, and they create this argument that is going to make it provable, like you prove to the IRS audit officer that it is a genuine case of non-willful, if that is what you are arguing in your application, in your report of FBAR. If you have a specific question about this topic, you can also check the rest of the reproductions that we have here in our channel video. You can also subscribe if you want to check more videos when we post it. And if you have questions specifically for this topic, click on the link here in the description box and send us an email. Fast CPA and Consultants. Thank you.